Hi guys, welcome to Recap Bro. In today's video, we will be going through the 2019 sci-fi and fantasy film, The Man Without Gravity. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie begins with a pregnant woman named Natalia is shown it is the time of her delivery. Alina, the mother of Natalia, is also present. Natalie's condition is beginning to cause her discomfort and her mother takes her to the hospital immediately. Due to the late hour, the majority of doctors are absent. Later a nurse is treating her. Now Natalia gives birth to a child. However, they are shocked and concerned when they see the infant. Because everything I witnessed was incredible. Because the baby begins to fly. Natalia is also astonished. She then informs her mother that an angel baby has been born in their home. Being knowledgeable and seasoned, Natalia's mother recognizes that he is not typical. And it is true, as the baby was born without gravity. They are unprotected individuals, therefore, leave the hospital. Despite what the nurse says, it is not yet time for their discharge. But they ignore her when they arrive at their home. Natalia's mother asks her a particular question as she enters the house. She asks that you remember the child's guardian, but Natalia is unable to recall the child's guardian. Then her mother tells her that this child is not normal, so we have to keep it a secret and we can face a lot of difficulties if someone knows about it. Then they choose the child's name, which is Oscar. And Oscar was in reality an uncommon child. Because his fostering was not easy. He used to stick with the ceiling for a long time as they leave him alone. His grandmother makes different straps for him to keep that child on the ground. They also make the ceiling pulpy and feathery so the child may not get harmed. Because they had fear as if they leave him outside alone, he will go into space flying in the air. So they are very careful about Oscar. His mother and grandmother take care of him much. Oscar starts growing with the passage of time. But he remains in the house. His grandmother does not allow him to go outside. He used to watch the cartoons of Superman living at home. He also used to imagine himself as he is a superhero. Then Oscar asks his mother Natalia many times why? Do they not allow him to go outside? However, ignore it. Oscar sees people through the window, including kids like him who are on their way to school, and he used to look at the playing kids with longing eyes, longing for an independent life. He thinks as he will perhaps imprison here forever. Then one day, Oscar tries to escape through the window, irritated by the confinement of the house. But his grandmother is got furious seeing him. Observing all action, grandmother seals all windows, and she guides Oscar that he will never go outside of the house like the school-going kids and he will read living at home. Hearing it, Oscar's mother is got angry. And she says, how much time will we keep him in imprisonment? He will go outside at one time. Then Oscar's mother brings a jacket for him, keeping the 2 stones in his pockets. So that he may no fly. She takes Oscar outside, ignoring her mother. Moreover, she asks her to not tell the secret to anyone like Superman, otherwise he will not be a Superman. Once Oscar goes with his mother for the purchasement of goods and collides with a child girl. That child girl same as Agata. Agata's goods are fallen down from her hand. She shouts on Oscar, handing over him 2 water bottles. She says it is your punishment to leave these bottles at my house. But Oscar refuses it. But Oscar agrees with the insistence of Agata. And he goes with that child girl without telling his mother. Now 2 heavy bottles are in their hands of Oscar and stones are also in his pockets. As a result, he is feeling slightly overweight. So he drops the 2 stones getting out of his pocket. His friendship is developed with Agata now. Reaching at her home, Agata asks for the water bottles. But Oscar refuses to return the water bottles. Because he knows that he will start flying in the air if the bottles are returned. Agata is immature, so she snatches the water bottles from Oscar. As she takes water bottles from Oscar, he starts flying in the air. That place is bound in its surroundings so Oscar does not fly too high. Agata is left astonished seeing it and calls her Superman while shouting. Oscar asks for help from her. Hearing it, Agata immediately goes into her house and brings her pink bag filled with stones. It was a good idea for them that he will put these stones in his pocket. Their plan is successful and Oscar descends. Then they become bosom friends. Then Oscar says to Agata, promise me. You will keep it secret. On the other side, mother and grandmother are worried because of Oscar's disappearance. They search him enough. And they think of it as he has flown in the air. His mother finds the stones fallen on the ground which she has put in his pocket. Then Oscar returns to the house with the given bag of Agata and tells about Agata to his mother. Then his mother asks, have you told your secret to her somewhere? But he tells a lie saying that I did not tell. Then Oscar and Agatha continue to meet with each other for many days. Then one day Oscar's mother comes to know that Agatha is aware of this secret. His mother forbids him from meeting Agatha after that day. Agatha used to come at Oscar's house but is returned back at the doorstep by Natalia. Then they become suspicious in the eyes of the people in their surroundings. Because they were feeling as Oscar's mother and grandmother mistreated him. So they don't allow him to come outside. And he does also not go to school. They report police about it and the police arrived at their house the next day, warning them to send Oscar to school. And they had to send Oscar to school under pressure. Then Oscar's mother goes to school with him. They are certain that Oscar will never be able to live a normal life. As they bring Oscar, their eyes well up with tears. Her mother understands everything so decides to leave the house. Then they begin to live in a place far away, leaving their house. Many years are passed and Oscar is also grown young. His mother is grown old while his grandmother is no more. And Oscar has still that bag given by Agatha. He never separated that bag from him. Even he used to sleep taking this bag with him. His way of living was still the same even today, spending life at home. His life is spent in secrecy. Oscar and his mother used to care for each other. Oscar is bored with his life. He was frustrated hiding this secret. Then he thinks that in a short time, he will be famous throughout the world like his ideal Superman if world knows about him. And many people will write books on him. But his mother does not desire such. But his mother explains, it will not happen. She thinks of losing him if world knows of this secret. For the sake of her mother, he exhibits patience. But one day, he rushes out of the house without telling his mother. Then he visits a magic show to display his talent for the first time, where the people's talents are revealed. This show touches the peak that night. And his mother also views that show. Oscar's mother is helpless in this matter. Many people had seen him on TV, making him well known. He meets a man named David the next day. He is in fact an agent. He guarantees Oscar that he can support him in becoming well known. We will arrange a crowd puller that will make you famous. He gives him a big house for his residence, taking the signature on a contract agreement. Oscar desired to be famous. Going in a big show, he shows his performance. Oscar becomes a well-known personality too soon. And afterward, he is named the man without gravity. Those people enjoyed their work, earning a lot of money. But one day Oscar feels that his childhood dream is to be a superhero. In fact, he is not a superhero. He has become just a puppet that is used by the people for their amusement. Sometimes he was called in the magic show and sometimes in a media event. He begins to dislike it with the passage of time. Although, many books are written about him. And many magazines are printed. And documentaries are made showing the bad image of his mother and grandmother. And it is disliked by Oscar. Then there is the last show where he is costumed as an angel, which he hates. He says, "I am not angel." He begins to say ill to people in the show, getting angry. Then he says to his mother that he has decided to leave all these things. He tells his agent, "Enough. I don't want to be famous and my work was till this time." He will not work more. His agent explains, "You cannot leave it as such." But Oscar is irritated by all these. He asks him to tell people, the man without gravity has passed away or flown in the air. He says goodbye to his mother because he wants to live a separate life. In the coming days, it will be revealed that the man without gravity has died. Many people talk differently about him. Oscar's mother starts living alone and many journalists continue their visit to their house to take information about Oscar, but she never tells anything to them. After many years, Oscar's mother also died. But Oscar was still alive. He was leading his life in a different way. He had a long beard and used to sit in a wheelchair in order to hide his secret from world. He has changed his identity by doing a job in a hotel as a receptionist. Everyone was courteous to him. One day, he runs into his friend Agatha. She recognizes him because of the pink bag which was still with Oscar even today, which she had given him in childhood, and he remained on the ground due to this bag and did not get married. They feel happiness meeting with each other, but Agatha was unsatisfied with her life. Because her purpose was only to earn money, so she had no conscience. He used to visit with many lads in that hotel where Oscar was on job. Oscar feels very bad seeing her. Oscar many times shares his feelings with Agatha. She has too changed, so ignores his wording. It is declared on it that Oscar had still feelings for her. Woes are the reason for Agatha's changing of life. And Oscar also left her too. They eventually come to terms with each other and marry, and they begin to share the same childhood home, and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.